Right now, pro-choice activists march at the Capitol ahead of Tuesday's Supreme Court vote, which could determine abortion laws in Wisconsin. Also, there's an alert day in the forecast with severe storms possible on Tuesday. Julian is tracking the timeline and impacts of that weather. And there's a new name to know running for the White House in 2024. We'll tell you who announced his candidacy today. That's all coming up at 5:30. Well, good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Arman Rahman. Well, if you're voting on Election Day, you'll want to pay close attention to the weather for Tuesday. Another round of severe thunderstorms are expected with a first warn alert day. Now in the forecast, meteorologist Julian Seawright is tracking the timing of that Tuesday storm. Julian, we just can't catch a break.
No, we cannot, Armand. We are looking for another round of severe weather to get into our about 4th or 5th day of April. Once we get into the week, this is what we see for our alert day. Breaking it down for us. Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday night are mainly going to be the timeline we're going to watch for any kind of strong to severe storms for us here in southern Wisconsin. We are looking for all threats, which is high winds, heavy rainfall, hail, and potential of an isolated tornado are all likely if any storms were to start to fire up once we get into that timeline. Now, southern Wisconsin is really where we're watching for us to have that severe weather threat, but just take a look at what's being stretched out. Much of the Midwest in itself is, again, under some form of a severe weather risk. Now, taking a closer look for southern Wisconsin, half of Dane County is actually under a slight and a marginal risk. But south of Madison, which is that slight risk, that yellow line, we have that level 2 out of 5 risk is what we're going to be watching for. But the further north you are, the less likely we are going to start to see that risk for storms. But timing things out, we're still looking for some back and forth through some model data. But going into our Tuesday afternoon, might see a couple of showers, but really some thunderstorms look to start to fire off once we get into our Tuesday night. A quick look at tonight, though. We are going to be seeing temperatures into our upper 30s, and the winds will finally start to die down as well. But we'll take a quicker look, a closer look at the storms coming into our Tuesday in just a few moments. Until then, back to you, Armand.
A reminder to download our First Warrant Forecast weather app ahead of Tuesday's storms. It has hourly forecasts, road conditions, and the latest radar based on your location. You can download it for free. Just search WISC Weather in your phone's app store. Well, the total number of those killed by Friday's storms has grown to 32 across 7 states. This after authorities say 2 children and 1 adult were killed when a tree fell on their Memphis home. Storms spawned more than 50 tornadoes, causing widespread damage across the South and Midwest. Some neighborhoods were completely leveled. Victims were also reported in Arkansas, Indiana, and Illinois. Madison firefighters say there were no flare-ups overnight at the site of what remains of a warehouse facility which caught fire Friday night. It happened on South Park Street on Madison's south side, about a mile west of the Alliant Energy Center. It was a 3-alarm fire, meaning many firefighting resources were brought in to battle the blaze. Fortunately, no one was hurt or killed. An investigation into what started the fire is underway.
We won't go back to hangers if our right to choose is banned. We rage for women's lives.
Pro-choice activists gathered at the Capitol today for one last rally ahead of Tuesday's election. Secretary of State Sarah Godlewski hosted the final event in the statewide Rally for Our Rights tour in Madison. Speakers at today's rally included healthcare workers, faith leaders, and women sharing their own experiences with abortion.
I think now, thank God I was raped when I was 16 and not today that I'm 21, because at least when I was 16 I would have been able to go and get an abortion if I needed one. Today, that's not the case.
Today's rally is just 2 days before Tuesday's election, when voters will decide whether the Wisconsin Supreme Court will have a liberal or conservative majority when they hear an upcoming case challenging the state's 1849 abortion ban. Supreme Court candidate Dan Kelly is making campaign stops around the state in the lead up to Tuesday's vote. One of his stops was in West Salem. Kelly says he's a constitutionalist and spoke with supporters there about preserving and upholding the rule of law. As a former state Supreme Court justice, Kelly says he believes that prior experience on the state's high court gives him an advantage.
The body of scholarship that I've developed during my time serving the people of Wisconsin as one of their Supreme Court justices has been cited, quoted, or relied upon hundreds of times by courts here in Wisconsin and all around the country.
Today was your last opportunity to vote early in person ahead of the election. If you didn't vote early, you'll have to head to the polls on Tuesday. The City of Madison Clerk's office says that as of this morning, more than 16,000 voters have cast their ballots early in person. Of the more than 41,000 absentee ballots issued, more than 35,000 have been returned. If you aren't registered to vote, you can get registered at your polling place on Tuesday. For more registration info and to find the polling place closest to you, visit myvote.wi.gov. Today marks 15 years since the murder of 21-year-old Brittany Zimmerman, a UW-Madison student who was killed inside her downtown apartment. Just months ago, her killer, David Call, admitted his guilt and pleaded guilty in a courtroom more than 14 years after the murder. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole back in January. It took nearly 12 years for police to arrest Call, matching his DNA with evidence found on Zimmerman's shirt. Police in McFarland say an officer was hurt after a vehicle took off during a traffic stop last night, dragging the officer with the vehicle. It happened on Sigelcow Road east of Lake Waubesa. Authorities say the driver ditched the vehicle and ran away. Other law enforcement agencies are assisting McFarland in the search for that driver, but as of this afternoon, there have been no updates. Emergency crews in Jefferson County say 2 people were killed last night after the vehicle they were in lost control, went into a ditch, and hit a culvert. The car left the road on State Highway 106 near Culkins Road outside Palmyra just before 8:30 last night. One of the 2 people killed was ejected from the vehicle. Authorities say they aren't saying if they believe if drugs or alcohol were involved, but the crash remains under investigation. Authorities in Columbia County say they've arrested a Madison woman in connection with the theft of hundreds of dollars worth of alcohol. The alleged theft happened back in February at the Portage Walmart, where nearly $300 worth of alcohol was stolen. Surveillance photos shared online by Portage police led to the arrest of a 46-year-old woman with ties here in Madison and Mauston. She faces charges of theft and bail jumping. And across America tonight, a Texas lawmaker says the solution to ending school shootings is with more guns and armed guards. Congressman Dan Crenshaw suggests that after last week's shooting at a Nashville private school, a minimum of 2 armed guards should be stationed at every school in America from here on out.
Because it's so random and unexpected, it's hard to prevent. Because they seem like they happen a lot, but they're still anomalous events, and they're very difficult to build a pattern behind. It's not like criminal activity, which you can target and prevent through law enforcement. This is harder.
Crenshaw's comments come less than a week after that Nashville school shooting left 3 adults and 3 children dead. He added that school shootings are a, quote, social contagion that started with the Columbine shootings. Former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson is throwing his hat into the ring for the White House. This morning, he announced that he's running for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination. A frequent critic of former President Donald Trump, he has hinted at a potential presidential run for months with repeated calls for a new direction for the GOP.
I'm running because I believe that I am the right time for America, the right candidate for our country and its future. And I shouldn't hinge upon anything else.
Trump and former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley have also announced their candidacies. A number of other Republicans, including Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and former Vice President Mike Pence, have been making moves suggesting they are considering presidential bids. Preparations are underway to secure the Manhattan Criminal Court, where former President Donald Trump will appear on Tuesday. A grand jury indicted Trump last week. The charges are still under seal, but he is expected to face dozens of counts related to an alleged hush money payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels. While Trump has called for protests, it is unclear if people will show up for his arraignment next week.
He will also be fingerprinted electronically, and he will be given a booking number. At the time that he receives that booking number, he is officially, quote unquote, under arrest.
Meanwhile, Trump's advisors say if the case goes to trial, they are concerned whether he will get a fair trial in New York. Well, in news from around the world, massive crowds greeted Pope Francis at the Vatican this morning as he presided over Palm Sunday services. It comes just a day after the pontiff was released from the hospital where he was treated for bronchitis. The holy day recalls Jesus' entry into Jerusalem, and it marks the start of Holy Week celebrations in the Christian calendar leading up to Easter next week. Well, still to come on News 3 Now at 5:30, a Washington State man is being called a hero for saving a life during a ski run. His GoPro camera capturing the harrowing rescue of a man stuck in a tree well. And coming up later on News 3 Now at 10, a celebration of all things Polish as the Polish Heritage Club hosts its annual festival in Monona.
Tomorrow is more than just the day ahead. Tomorrow is putting in the energy every single day. We're investing another $4 billion in renewables and low-carbon solutions through 2025. And modernizing our energy infrastructure to lower our emissions, bridging to a sustainable energy future.
All right, team, we got a big project coming up. And it all starts with ordering promotional products.
I'm on it.
4imprint makes it easy to get the logoed products you're looking for. The latest in apparel, drinkware, bags, high-tech items, and more. You can be certain of getting it right at 4imprint.com.
Come on out. I'm on it.
4imprint for certain.
Right now at Planet Fitness, you can get that big fitness energy for just $1 down, $10 a month. No commitment, cancel anytime. It's a great deal, and our 17 million members agree.
You can say that again.
Okay, as I said, you can join for just $1 down, $10 a month.
What a deal!
So turn your low energy into big fitness energy and enjoy tons of equipment and a clean and spacious judgment-free zone to get that post-workout glow. So get going, or shall I say glowing? Join for just $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, April 5th.
Good news. This just in. Your Ford dealers have fresh shipments of their award-winning SUV lineup in stock and ready for you to drive home today. Get your hands on a new Ford, the #1 brand in SUV owner loyalty, including Bronco Sport with standard GOAT modes and Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV. And now, here's more good news. Choose FlexBuy on Escape and get 2.9% APR financing for 66 months plus $1,500 FlexBuy cash.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5:30.
We're both gonna catch our breath for a sec. I'm gonna help dig you out, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man.
A heart-pounding rescue on Mount Baker in Washington State. Francis Zuber was skiing in an isolated area last month when he spotted a snowboard upside down in the snow. His quick reaction may have saved a life, and his GoPro camera captured it all.
He was fully upside down. You know, I had to dig down 6 feet to get to him. And that part was way more exhausting than I thought it was going to be.
The snowboarder had been buried upside down in a hazard called a tree well, also called spruce traps. They're spaces that form at the bases of trees that can present a real danger for skiers and snowboarders. At least 25 freight train cars derailed this morning in western Montana along the banks of the Clark Fork River. Authorities say the train derailed in Sanders County, about 200 miles northwest of Bozeman. A county sheriff's office dispatcher said there did not appear to be any hazardous materials on board, and there have been no injuries reported. It's unclear at this point what caused the derailment. And Julian is back with another check of the first warn forecast ahead of Tuesday's Alert Day. What you need to know about the timing of severe storms if you're voting that day.
It's time to play ball. Monday, Josh travels to AmFam Field for a live preview of the Milwaukee Brewers home opener. And Leah Lindscheid's back from maternity leave.
And as we go into the upcoming work week, we're tracking another strong storm system. Join us Monday between 4:30 and 7.
There were severe health complications with my baby when I was pregnant. We made the decision to have an abortion so our daughter wouldn't suffer. Dan Kelly doesn't believe that women should even have that freedom. On the Supreme Court, Dan Kelly will uphold the criminal ban on abortion. Someone you love might struggle with a pregnancy like I did. And that's why we can't have an extremist like Dan Kelly on the Supreme Court.
Community is helping each other, making sure your neighbor is taken care of. At Lake Ridge Bank, community is who we are. We take pride in being a community bank, strengthening relationships and investing in the places we come from. It's why we are who we are. Lake Ridge Bank. Go far, go together.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy and water providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
I'm voting for Gloria because she will invest in nonprofits, entrepreneurs, and small businesses.
I'm voting for Gloria because she's going to make the opportunity of home ownership a priority for Madisonians.
I believe in Gloria because she supports body cameras for our police officers, promoting safety, accountability, and trust.
I have been drafted to run for Madison mayor because people know that I care about our city. Vote Gloria Reyes on April 4th. Let's move Madison forward together.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Well, hopefully you've enjoyed your weekend because we are now looking at another round of severe weather heading into the early parts of next week. So let's talk about it. We have a first warn alert day in the forecast, and here is the breakdown of what we're going to be expecting. For southern Wisconsin is mainly where we're watching for areas to potentially see strong or severe storms, and all modes of threats are possible and on the table from any storms that do fire up, especially the high winds, which is one thing we're really going to be keying on as we watch and monitor these systems. Outside of that, we are looking for Tuesday afternoon to be the start of it, but really Tuesday evening and Tuesday night is what we're watching for it to be the big bonanza for any storms to really start to fire off. So let's get right into it. Our severe weather day outlook. Well, on day 3, Tuesday, we're looking for, again, the Midwest and the upper Midwest to be under some form of severe weather, especially areas like our friends in Illinois, Iowa, and north parts of Missouri are under a level 3 out of 5 risk, which is the enhanced risk, that darker shade of brown on your screen. But for us, well, as we take a closer look, see where Madison is, it's right into the marginal risk, but south of Madison, that could be for areas like Stoughton, Oregon, or even Belleville, are under that slight risk. And the further south that you are, from Platteville, Monroe, Janesville, and our friends to the southeast, they're also under that slight risk, level 2 out of 5 for us to see severe weather going into our Tuesday. Areas further north, less likely of a chance, but still possible. Now, what we're watching for is we're going to start to see a system, once again, have an abundance of moisture, and the setup in itself has plenty of ingredients for us to see some storms that will not only just be strong, but be quite widespread. Heading into our Tuesday afternoon, you can see temperatures really start to climb, especially near Iowa City, but that's what we're really going to be keying on. Getting into our Tuesday evening and Tuesday night. You can take notes. This is midnight, folks. Temperatures are already into the lower 60s as that warm sector really starts to lift its way into the upper Midwest. Which is why from Madison to the south, as we're getting all of those strong high winds coming in from the south in that warm air, this is where we could be seeing potential of our best timing of any kind of storm starting to fire off, and really will start to clear out once we get hit by the cold front, which comes into our Wednesday afternoon. But it takes a while to get here, and that's the one thing while we're watching really closely for Tuesday evening and Tuesday night for those high winds, and on top of it, for us to see some of those storms really starting to carry into the overnight hours. But make sure you plan ahead. We do have a few days for us to be able to prepare for any kind of storms that happen. So again, go through your severe weather checklist and your severe weather plan to make sure that you are safe from the storms. Outside of that, the rest of the weekend, the winds will start to die down, but it's just going to take a little while to get there. Overnight, we will start to see a bit more just lighter winds. On top of it, waking up tomorrow morning, not going to feel too bad. Upper 30s and real improvements by the time we get into our Monday afternoon, as 50s will take hold here in southern Wisconsin. Some cloud cover will stick around, but we're watching for shower activity once we get into around the 5 p.m. commute and around dinner time in itself as well. Well, we don't have time for the 3 things we'll need to know, but here's one thing we're going to be watching for. 10-day forecast. So we have an alert day for Tuesday. But after Tuesday, we're going to see the 60-degree mark rather early for our Wednesdays. Mainly going to be overnight, because once we get into Wednesday afternoon, cold front will sweep through. Temperatures will be in the 40s. It's a bit chillier heading into Thursday, but for the weekend right now, have a couple of opportunities to see some showers, but at least for Easter Sunday, we might see 60 degrees and some sunshine, Armand.
What do they say? April showers bring May
flowers.
flowers. I sure hope those flowers, they're getting a lot of water. So.
Yeah, absolutely. We have an abundance of rain still and moisture in the area, which is great. We just now need things to bloom because it looks a little dead outside.
Yeah, I know. And then speaking of Easter, what's your favorite Easter treat, really quick?
Ooh, I don't know.
You don't know?
I think you caught me off guard.
I did.
You know, Easter treats.
Like Peeps? Little marshmallow Peeps?
I don't like Peeps.
Oh.
I do like the Jelly Bellies, though.
Ooh.
Out of like the little...
Chocolate bunny, yeah?
Yes, the chocolate bunnies. Those are mine.
That's
I'll have
yeah. Nice. Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Julian.
Yeah.
Let's play 2. Badger softball with a doubleheader this afternoon. Jordan has those highlights coming up in sports.
I'm going for Judge Janet
Protestowitz? You don't need to know how to say Protestowitz to know that Judge Janet believes in abortion rights, fairness, and public safety.
Protestowitz.
Hey, Fitchburg, who are you voting for mayor?
Randy Udell understands how to balance growth and protect our farmland.
Randy is fiscally responsible, and he is a great listener. Randy is the inclusive, collaborative leader Fitchburg needs.
Randy Udell's earned my endorsement and the support of first responders. He'll make Fitchburg safer and more welcoming for everyone.
Hi, I'm Randy Udell. Let's move Fitchburg forward together. I ask for your vote on April 4th.
At Weedman Lawn Care, we believe that a lush, beautiful lawn should be enjoyed by the whole family. That's why we offer a kid and pet-friendly program to create a healthier, greener, weed-free lawn that your whole family can enjoy. Our program includes effective applications of targeted weed control and slow-release golf course quality fertilizer to achieve real results. Call or click today for your free quote, or sign up now and see the Weedman difference. Doesn't your family deserve a Weedman lawn?
Extremist Dan Kelly wants abortion banned, even in cases of rape and the health of the mother. Kelly will uphold Wisconsin's 1849 abortion ban that strips women of their freedom to make personal decisions on abortion.
A grade school golf prodigy earns a trip to Augusta, Monday at 10.
Doubleheader Sunday for Wisconsin softball. The first game with Illinois not going in the Badgers' favor. They fall 6-4, but they got a chance to close the series with a dub and possibly pick up their second conference series win of the season. Now we're going to talk about this first inning right here. UW down 1-0, and it's Ellie Hubbard with the clutch bat. A 2-run home run for the lead. Now Brooke Cuffle is going to follow suit. Another 2-run shot right after that one. There you go. Her bat's not done yet. In the second inning, the Badgers are up by 5 runs, and she crushes a 3-run homer. Yeah, it's 9-1 after 2 innings. The Illini managed to cut it to a 1-run game later on, but Bucky holds on for the dub. Tuesday, they're going to host St. Thomas for a doubleheader with the first game at 3. Series finale for the Brewers and Cubs. The Crew coming off their first win of the season. Could get their first series win today. Now, the offense does get going early. They're tied up at 2 in the 4th, and Garrett Mitchell sends it to deep right, an RBI triple for the go-ahead. Well, the 6th inning, those bats really get going. Bases loaded, and Jesse Winker drops one into center. 2 runs will score, and the Brewers close it out at Wrigley with a 9-5 win. Next up is their home opener with the Mets. That's tomorrow. First pitch is at 1:10. We will have team coverage all day, so be sure to tune in to News 3 Now. Championship Sunday for college women's basketball. McKenna Warnock and company just 1 win away from earning the program's first ever title. The only thing standing in front of them is LSU. That's also a team hunting history. Now, after a close opening quarter, the game quickly starts going LSU's way. Jasmine Carson for 3. It's a double-digit game in the second. Well, now Iowa comes out of the break on a tear. Warnock for 3 of her 9 points to help with that rally. And Caitlin Clark is going to splash home a triple, and it's now an 8-point game. But even 30 from Clark is not enough to rally past the Tigers, and LSU wins the title 102-85. The stage is set for the men's national championship game airing here tomorrow night on CBS. San Diego State will look to make program history, earning their first ever Natty champ as they face UConn, who is chasing their 5th title since 1999. But for the Aztecs, it's all about sticking to what they've been doing in their tournament run, which has certainly caught the Huskies' attention.
We know we just got to stick to our game plan. We're our own biggest competitors. You know, if we just play our game, I think we should come out with the win. And, you know, credit to UConn, though. They're a really good team.
Just so much respect for, you know, how well coached they are, you know, their defensive abilities, their physicality, the rebounding, the depth, both front court and perimeter. It's exciting to share the court with a team that, you know, we mirror each other, I think, in a lot of ways.
That game tips off at 8:20 tomorrow night here on CBS.
There we go. Busy night with the basketball and the Brewers, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be a busy day for sure. So yeah, so obviously be sure to tune in on air online because we'll be running around.
You will be. Thanks so much, Jordan. Final check of your first warm forecast with Julian is coming up when we return.
I'm voting for Gloria because she's committed rebuilding State Street.
I'm voting for Gloria because she will invest in nonprofits, entrepreneurs, and small businesses.
I believe in Gloria because she supports body cameras for our police officers, promoting safety, accountability, and trust.
I have been drafted to run for Madison mayor because people know that I care about our city. Vote Gloria Reyes on April 4th. Let's move Madison forward together.
Okay, I think we're all aware that most cell companies only give you the lowest price when you sign up for multiple lines.
What? Multiple lines?
Hello? Yeah, one sec. But US Cellular gives you just one line for $29.99 with unlimited data.
Just one line with unlimited data.
So you don't have to get more lines than you need.
No, you hang up.
Are you even listening, guy who never looks up from his phone?
Oh, not for me, I just say it.
Okay, so no, you're not listening.
Get one line for $29.99, plus every plan is price protected. US Cellular, built for us.
A teenager with the mental capacity of a 6-year-old, tricked by a predator on Facebook using a fake name, who then sexually assaulted her. It was pure evil. If Judge Janet Protasewicz was to ever take a stand for a victim, this was the time, and this was the victim. But she failed, again, placing the man on probation with a measly 60 days in the local jail. Tell Janet Protasewicz, stop letting predators off easy.
Soon you'll head to the polls to decide the balance of the Supreme Court. The choice is clear: an extremist or a common-sense judge, Judge Janet Protasewicz. She'll protect our rights and our freedoms. She'll be fair, impartial, and independent. Judge Janet Protasewicz believes in women's freedom to make their own decisions when it comes to abortion.
I'm Judge Janet Protasewicz, and I'm asking for your vote by April 4th.
Now, before we go, unsettling news for those who enjoy drinking alcohol. A new study found that drinking moderate amounts of alcohol every day, sorry, Julian, does not, as once thought, protect against death from heart disease, nor does it contribute. I'm just responding to your exasperated side. A longer life. It actually found that even drinking relatively low levels of alcohol increased the risk of death. That's less than 1 ounce a day for women and about 1.5 ounces a day for men. It's one of the largest studies to debunk the widely held belief that moderate drinking of wine or other booze beverages is good for you. So no Prost.
First and foremost, before we even get to the Prost, how dare you?
Bro, you sighed. You sighed. I was like, oh, he's sad.
Just because it's just another bad alcohol, but I do not drink that frequently.
I did not mean to allude to that.
I have a nice beverage when I'm not working about once or twice a week. That is about it.
I wasn't alluding to anything.
People, I'm not an alcoholic.
Yeah, he's not alcoholic. Yeah, I promise.
Prost, though.
Prost.
Taking a quick look at our weather. Well, folks, we're going to be wrapping things up with some rain. That's right. We have some shower chances on Monday, storm chances for Tuesday, then it's warm and then cold and then warm again for Easter Sunday.
There we go. Enjoy a nice drink tonight on us, folks. We'll see you later tonight at 10.